What's going on, YouTubers and Facebookers? Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Luxury L Castillo. L is for lifestyle. Once again, I'm back here again, wasting my time. But I'm not really wasting my time because this is education. It's about retirement. People are getting confused about retirement. Right now, I'm just gonna give you guys a sneak preview. What is a retirement? You need to put in 35 years of your life in either private sector or the government sector. You need 35 years. If you were working in the private sector, contributing to Social Security, and then in midstream, you said, well, I want to be like Luxurie Castillo. I want to work for the government. So let's say you're 35 years old. So you add 35 to that number because you need to work 35 years in the government to get any good benefits, even reasonable benefit. So you'd be 60 years old, right? No, hold on. 35 plus 35, shoot, you'd be 70. So I told you, I'm not good at math. 35 years old, in midstream, you want to work for the government, you put in 35 years. At age 70, that's when you get your full benefits from the government. And there's no shortcuts about it. So if you're like 48 years old, and then you said, well, I'm a good person now, I will turn my life around. Okay, 48 plus 35, how much is that? 48 plus 35, shoot, you'd be 83 years old when you retire from the government. So it's not going to work for you. If you want to work government, you have to think about this when you're in junior high school. But we can't go back in time. All right, so let's go back. And I want to digress from the government sector. Let's go with the private sector. That's where 90% of the people work. 90% of you guys are private sector. You guys go to college, become a nurse, you become a dentist, you become a lawyer, you become a doctor. And you work in the private sector and you put in your Social Security. And guess what, guys? You still got to put in your 35 years. So if you are 30 and then you put in your 35, you'll be 65. Right? 30 plus 35, 65, yeah. So if you start as 35 and you put in your 35, you'll be 70 to get your full benefits. But you can't retire at 62. No one's going to stop you. But you're not going to get your full retirement. So bottom line is either you work for the private sector and put in 35 years, minimum 35 years, and get your full benefits from the private sector, and take advantage of the Social Security, which is a 5-legged retirement system. You need to put in the, I have another video. It's a 5-legged retirement system. You need to put in your 401k. And then you gotta cheat the system, right? I'm not telling you to cheat the system. This is just what I see. You gotta pretend you're disabled. Now, how do you pretend to be disabled? That's not my video. You go somewhere else. So you got your Social Security, and then you got your 401k, and then you get this disability. You have to pretend. I don't know how you do it. You have to pretend you're incapable of working or some bullshit like that. And then the other 2 legs, which I don't want to mention right now. That's your retirement. Not a big retirement, but you'll be okay. Now let's dive into what am I supposed to dive into? Oh, the pension of the government. You still need to put in 35 years. All right, what about those people that are 50% Social Security, 50% government? Well, if you, let's say you are a nurse, all right? That's a good example. You're a nurse, you're working for Kaiser, you did 20 years there. You're making good money, you're making $100 an hour, you're driving a Benzo, and your name is not even Lorenzo, and you have 4 houses. You're rich, okay? And you said, you know what? I want to be like that true player, luxury lifestyle Castillo. I want to be like him. So you quit your job. Now you work for the department. You work for the government sector as a nurse. Well, you're not going to make $100 an hour. Not even 75. As an RN, I believe you'll make about $35 an hour in the government sector. So that's a big pay cut. I don't know how you're gonna survive with that. But anyway, so you say you do that for $35 an hour. Let's pretend you're happy because you got all these properties. You're rich. So now you already put in your 20 years. How old are you? Okay, let's be realistic now. You're 30 years old. You put in 20 years. You're 50. You gotta put in 35 years for the government, but it's impossible, right? Because you're 50 already. You can't do 35 more years. You could be 85. So you're going to put in 20 years. So 20 years in the private sector, 20 years in the government sector. So 20-20. So now you're half and half. Half private, half government. Well, the government is going to give you a nice pension. And then the Social Security system is going to look into that. They're going to say, yo, what's your name? Abigail. Let's say you're Abigail and you're a nurse. Yo, Abigail. You're making $2,000 from the county of Los Angeles. And you're getting that as your pension a month. Well, this is what we're going to do, is what we call windfall. We're not going to give you your full benefits of Social Security. Tell you what, since you're making, well, this is how they say it. Since you're making $2,000 of pension from the government, how about if we just give you $500 of Social Security? So now you have $2,500. You'll be all right. So that's an example of 50% government, or no, I'm using my left hand. 50% private, 50% government. Put them all together. You're gonna the pension from the government will give you a solid $2,000, and then your Social Security, they will adjust. Okay, they're not gonna let you in. They're gonna adjust, and then they'll justify that you're making too much money. $2,000, we're just gonna give you $500. So you come out of the bank with $2,500 a month, and that's how it goes. You can't complain about the system. That's how the system is built, guys. So either way, you still gotta put in 35 years. Put in 35 years in the private sector, or 35 years for or in the government sector, or you can go half and half. But either way, you will get a pension, and I think $2,500 should be enough. And I'm assuming you're married, right? You're married, so your husband or your wife will put in another $2,500. So both of you combined will have $5,000 a month. So don't fight. You married people, don't be fighting. Quit that bickering bullshit. Get along. You need to get along for the sake of retirement. Your husband Gary puts in $2,500. You, Abigail, put in $2,500. Voila, $5,000 a month. Live with it. That's it. This has got nothing to do of being humble or arrogant or mayabang or pakumbaba. Fuck no. The government doesn't care about it. The government doesn't care about that shit. You think the government says, oh, well, since you're mayabang, we're gonna deduct your pension. Nah, man, they don't care about that. Or the Social Security government or Social Security Administration, they're gonna check your Facebook and say, oh, you're so humble, you're humble, pakumbaba. We're gonna add another $100 to your SSI. Come on, man. Some bullshit. So in reality it is what it is. And what's the takeaway from this video? The takeaway is accept what is the reality. Is being realistic is one of the main key of happiness. Be real, man. Look at it. Look at your paycheck. And say, this is it. Wife, husband, get along. You know. Although there's another video I can make. Well, I'll be making in the future. If you guys are both in SSI, I think. I heard that if you get divorced, both of you will have a better SSI. But don't quote me on that one, because I don't play that bullshit. You get divorced, you make more money? Huh, I guess. But that's not me. That's not Luxury Lifestyle Castillo's way. My way is be realistic. Because the world, 90% of you guys are unrealistic. That's what it is. 90% are unrealistic. We need to taper that number down to maybe down to 10%. We all got to be realistic. If we make $2,500 a month and your wife makes $2,500 a month, put them together, it's $5,000. Be content. Be realistic. Don't be looking at your neighbor, all right? Don't be looking at your cousin. Don't be looking at your uncle. You're like, well, how come Luxurie Castillo, my uncle, how come he got a nice car, all brand new? Don't be looking at that. That's just gonna make you sad and angry and start hating. You shouldn't be hating. It's no good. Don't hate. Celebrate. Anyways, guys, I don't want to take too much of your time. Once again, this is Luxurie L Castillo. L is for lifestyle. If you guys could just help me out, subscribe, like, and leave some comments. This will help my channel out. Once again, peace out. This is LLC. Right back at you. Peace out.